Well, thank you so much for that
There we
casual
go.
quickie. Much appreciated for that one. Guys, we're in game number two. We're starting off strong. We're keen for it. We see the first ban coming out being a Kale.
Yeah, that's a targeted ban at Nectar. I think that was the only real carry he showed when he was in the LCO, and of course he did show it a bit when he was on. What team was he on before? In amateur, but then he went to the LCO and kept that up. So like the Kale is one of his old standbys. So I think makes sense to ban. The other one, I think you kind of have to take the Scion for yourself and not let him get that, because it feels like it's the most reliable tank on this patch at the moment, especially with the amount of itemization it can do. If you're not going to go something like Cassante, then I want to see them prioritize a good, solid tank matchup for Sizamal in the top lane, or let him play like an actual carry. Like let him play something that he likes to play. So maybe the Yone takeaway.
Yeah, put him on a carry champion. Let's give him Leona again.
Yeah, there's the Gragas ban away from. That's also a classic Hunger Core Mahe / Sizamal takeaway. So at least the homework is being done by Avalanche Pink. A little bit of respect to the opponents, which after the last game you could kind of not blame them if they didn't have that.
Oh yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I think Gragas, regardless of like anything, he's such a good flex pick everywhere. We've seen him mid, we've seen him top, we've seen him jungle. He's staple. He's strong. So as the Cassante pick is the last one to be banned off on blue side, I'm really keen for that. I actually think Cassante he's actually probably more of a mid laner, if anything. Well, he's very good in top lane, don't get me wrong, but I think just his utility and kit just make him so versatile, and he can be quick on the draw to get down to other lanes and deal some damage. So I like that ban. What else are you expecting to see? I'm hoping to see another Yone, or maybe even a Yasuo.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason you can't just run it back. And apparently, Chirp is in a mood to be playing these melee assassins. So, melee bruisers. He loved the Yone in the last game, and we've seen him play a lot of things like the Silas recently as well. So maybe that comes out. So there's the Milio. That's the champion we haven't really talked about a lot, because with the rise of these on-hit AD carries, things like Cogmore climbing the ranks, Milio feels like he's going to rise in value alongside Cogmore, Varus. And especially Jinx as well. Jinx Milio is a combo that just myrtles people. So if that's the pick and Lulu Zeri is going to be the response, I kind of want to see either the Jinx or just some other hyper carry. Maybe you even go for the Aphelios, but I think Jinx has to be the pick here.
And the big sleeper on Milio as well is that extended attack range, especially on that Jinx. Like imagine a Jinx with a rapid fire cannon and a Milio on top. I've played it once. And my attack range, I was doing...
It feels unfair.
Those meme videos of where people are standing outside a tower range and just taking the tower? I did that. And I was just laughing, and it was beautiful. But we see a Vi instead. Look, they can sort of leave it open, but I feel like they do want to pick up the AD carry in this run, purely so it isn't banned out as taking a couple of those hyperscale champions. But you're right, there is like the Cogmore, there is a Aphelios still open too. These are very strong champions, but they just opt in for the Sivir, which is quite peculiar. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I kind of like this, because Sivir is someone who feels like she would be a big beneficiary of the new items as well. The new Storm Razor feels like it would work very, very well on her. And she is a champion who suffers from short range a lot. So Milio bolstering that up and giving her that base to fight from while extended the range feels like it could certainly work. And that was what I was going to call out is with the Vi picked, it feels like you're going towards this dive composition, and one of your concerns is when you have the Milio is that your AD carry and your support are going to be left to the wayside. So having something that has a bit of more mobility, especially with the Storm Razor built up, I think I like the look here from Clarence and Flop. I think have to be the people who step up in this game based on that last game. It felt like there were that one glimmer of hope that was present on the map for the Weeknight Warriors, but we are into bans, and Jarvan 4 was the last pickup, so looking like a bit of a dive versus dive setup, actually.
And you know that those are always things, but I feel like having the Milio on your team, he is a very he's very disengage heavy. Like he can stop the dive from happening. So you building a dive comp with a champion like Milio on your back is just so beneficial. So it's going to stop this J4. It'll even stop this Zeri who wants to dash over these walls, make short plays and move forward. So I really think that this bot lane is going to be, we've said it before in the last game, the big thing to be watching. Even though we haven't seen as much Sivir in these sort of like high elo games, you're right, itemization brings it in, but there is an ASOL coming into the mix,
Is.
and I checked Chirp's OPGG, and he's been playing a lot of ASOL, so this champion clearly is going to be doing something. Don't worry about the Yone, let's pick up the dragon instead.
Caden, play Fizz. This is the moment. We've been hearing about the Fizz as the counter to the Aurelion Soul. Is he going to play it? I think any champion that gets on top of the Aurelion Soul also works. The LeBlanc makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I was not the Fizz. I'm kind of sad, but now we get to see what Sizzamol is going to pick for himself. Don't do it. He's teasing us.
He's got to be a tease.
There is no way. But a lot of tanks banned out, which maybe suggests you are looking for the last remaining tank for yourself. Leona is not that tank. Malphite probably should be the pick here if you are going to just go forward onto the backline, but Shen, I guess, also works. Now you have a chance to counterpick on top.
Yeah, dive comp as well. Get a Shen on top of you when you're diving in is going to be absolutely so good. Getting that extra shield and having a taunt come straight off the back of that is going to be beautiful. So I guess they're going to have to really pull out some bigger tank, maybe something with as good a roaming, or at least do global is what I was going to say. So a gangplank could be quite strong here with that global barrage, but Nah also equally as good as they do decide to lock that in. So I'm liking these team fights weapon. This is like the first solid looking game, and I'm excited.
Yeah, this is kind of sick. So Narvin on one side for Nectar and Spirit. You've got the Zeri Lulu, which is just, we know what this duo can do, and then the Aurelion Soul in the hands of Chirp. And as you said, a champion he's been playing a lot of. And this is just AoE wombo team fight. You lock someone in place with the J4, Nar comes in, Narves everyone against the wall or whatever terrain the J4 has created, and Zeri just goes ballistic with the Aurelion Soul raining hell from above. So this team fight is very straightforward, whereas on the other side, I'm seeing the ability to assassinate a single target, have that Shen to protect you, and really start the fight on the terms that you want. You know, you want to blow up that Zeri, blow up maybe the Aurelion Soul, and then grind out the rest of the fight from there. And you have the tools to do it. But man, if we're looking at that last game as a benchmark for how this game is going to go, we really want to see Weeknight Warriors step up and really execute on that plan.
This could be their game plan all along. They hit us with the troll game at the start. They say, we'll give them something to have a good laugh at. And now they're saying, hey, we're going to be running this show. Let's show them what we're really made of. So I'm really excited. I think the key thing that I want to point out here for all of you viewers out there is Blue side is heavily saying, let's get some sort of early lead. They hit level 6, they can start looking for really bigger plays. But then on the other side, Red, you want that to scale a little bit more. ASOL really comes online with 2, 3-ish items, depending on the item changes. But Zeri as well wants to just farm up a little bit, isn't going to be looking for those hectic trades, especially into a Sivir Milio who can disengage so easily. So I'm expecting, like you said, that big wombo combo in the mid game from this red side, and blue side just looking for those early pokes and early advantages onto objectives. So I think that's what we should really be looking for. What do you think, Weapon?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think level 6 is probably going to be a big point for the Weeknight Warriors side. Of course, Shen coming in, LeBlanc able to get that double dash and execute people, and by having the ability to lock someone down, that's where your plays are going to be made. So look for that around about that 6 to 10 minute mark where they really need to be active. And you've got the 4 black plan. You know, 400 CS Sivir is potentially a win con, but if you're playing for that, then you are playing to lose. So you really need to be active. Weeknight Warriors need to find people in rotations, get vision down, and really just make sure they're being proactive on the map and find people caught out of position.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Guys, we are going to jump to an intermission, so stay tuned. Game number 2, Avalanche Pink versus Weeknight Warriors. We'll be right back. We are back for game number 2, Avalanche Pink versus Weeknight Warriors, mate. Game 2. We know this is going to be a good one. We've seen the draft. We've seen it all come to life. We're keen for another cheeky invade as they have been spotted out. They're looking for something. There's the flash taunt coming out. But is it 9-3 who's going to be taken off the board? He does get out though. Burns the flash.
He's out, burns the flash, I guess. Shen traded, but wait.
They're still looking. They're still going for it. There's the flash. There's the heal. Can they go for a little bit? There's another flash coming out. They get first blood. No way in hell do they get it.
That's okay. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to get away with a kill there, but they just burn all the flashes. Full send, level 1. Everyone throws a bunch of summoners at that. Both summoners on Clarence down, flash down from Arcaden, and the heal down from Flop. But you do get, I guess, the life and the summoners away from 9-3, but and a kill on the Sivir is certainly going to help. But she has the Cull start as well, so looks like neither side are really looking to play towards that bot lane, at least based on the itemization. I think a lot of the actually going to be unfolding mid to top, and that one kill may actually end up being the difference in being able to control that early tempo of the bot lane. So let's see how that unfolds.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to make sure, what time are you on, Weapon? I just need to confirm.
1:45, my dude.
1:45. I think I can pause for 150. I'm on 151, 152.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I think we can run with it. I think we can
work with that. We can work with that.
We're fine.
Well, look, Chirp just did a huge amount of damage to my good friend there in the mid lane. Again, this is the strong thing that you can see from an Aurelian Soul.
Oh,
look at that dude. He does whatever he wants.
Disgusting.
Fire. Taps on my keyboard, but no, the blow's not back
Wait.
here. Look, he's going for even more. Almost takes him off the board.
Yeah, so close. There's so much early pressure from the Aurelian Soul with that Q. Once he gets the full channel on someone, you can see the huge pop of damage. And what that means is every time that LeBlanc W is down until he gets level 6, Chirp could just walk up and just dunk that thing on him. And as long as he gets the full channel, then the LeBlanc is going to get chunked out over and over again. So it's going to be rough early going if Arcaden doesn't play well around that W cooldown and respect the damage coming in from the Aurelian Soul. Is
bit of a kerfuffle at all, but look, Meganar does its job, but here goes, AE does get the stun up, cancels the back. Looking for a little bit more as they can chase this down. But you do see Spirit is going to look for this. He does have double buffs. Could be looking real strong, but he does back off.
Yeah, there it is, and we are going to reset. So a nice little trade back there by Arcaden. Does manage to reassert a little bit of dominance in that lane. And that lane will get better and better for the LeBlanc around that level 6 mark when she is able to take more aggressive trades. But right now has to be a little bit respectful, especially with the jungle trailing. And speaking of which, Spirit is on the flank. I'm not sure if he's warded out.
Does get ping. Question mark. Ping is coming out. Yeah, there's a pink ward there too. And a normal ward. Oh, does see it. How did he not see that pink ward? But look at the damage coming out. There's the flash engage from the Vi. It's going to be enough if they do get slowed up. But there's the kill. AE locking that one down. That's the lead she needs.
Yeah, really nice stuff there by Arcaden and Mushin. Pairing up in the mid lane, they are able to find the aggressive play early on. We talked about how important that was going to be for this team, for this composition to come online early, and they are finding the leads in the early game, at least in that mid lane. As Nectar, that's a lot of damage.
Wait, but there's but there's the range. Goes Mininar just at the right time. Absolutely astounding.
Yeah, that was really rough by Sizzmal. He threw down the Spirit's Refuge, but he wasn't blocking anything because that's a big Gnar, and he does all of his damage through abilities. So the auto attacks just didn't matter. He got everything he needed there, did Nectar, and then he finally turned into Mini just as the Spirit's Refuge went down and picked up the kill. So a bit of a tough one, but maybe a reply here.
Here comes the drag, does get the flag and drag over the wall. Shields get procced as well, and it's gonna be enough. The blast cone does get it, but they do secure the kill mid-air. Exactly how we like to do our sports stunts.
Yeah, really nicely played there by Spirit, and Chirp getting the chunk, setting him up, and he just comes in and picks up the kill. No flash on the LeBlanc means that that single dash going down, she just doesn't have the mobility to get away from the J4, and once the red buff burn goes down, you just get walked down. So it's a bit of an even state in the mid lane. It feels like not even actually. Chirp's CS is out of control, but at least slightly better, maybe. I'm Copium. Help me out here.
Oh, look, I can't, man. Chirp's just doing his thing. He's he's showing proficiency, right? Like, this is what we were talking about. When you're looking at players that you must see at even higher elo again, you got to see them on different champions and pulling it off. He's played the Yone. He looked real strong. We've seen him play all sorts. You mentioned the Irelia from back in the day. He looked strong on that too. Like, this guy is just a monster. And he likes to win lane. So I'm expecting him to try and get a little bit more, as he did back leave just then. But look, Mega Nars goes through. He does get 6 just on time. And looks like he's going to get a kill here. This is what we're looking down in the bot lane. Actually, it's 93. Could be locked up here as well. Taken below half health. Standing on a ward, but they are contesting that dragon.
Ooh,
Ooh,
maybe.
Starfire coming down, but no. Ooh, still going, still going, still going. Oh, the flash is burned. There's the flash engage coming in. And there's the solo kill from Scissor up in this top lane too. This fight's all over the map here, Weapon. As Stard is also trying to do his best.
9-3 is so
But
low.
it's just so much. And this looks like it could be the dragon that they were hoping for. But that was just devastating.
Yeah, that was sick. Now Chirp is going to have to recall here, as it looks like the not quite getting the kill, and Arcaden has managed to chug those pots, so it does have a little bit of health, a little bit of mana to play with. I'm not sure. Maybe he burned. No, he didn't burn the teleport, so he just didn't die and he regen back up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the top side, Sizamol does manage to pick up the kill on the Gnar as well, so really nicely played, equalizing that for himself. But I want to talk about this bot lane play, because that was just Milio things. Right?
Yeah.
You have the Milio in the brush, which means you have you had the full brush control, which was the main key component of that. No wards in that brush meant that they were able to just dart in and out using the Milio extended range and just use the Sivir, the poke, and to just pepper them down after they sent that wave in and got the priority. And now Arcaden up towards the top side. Nektar is about to go Mega.
Yeah, Mega is not where you want to be, especially in the 2v1. He can get that Gnar, which he does have available, but is he going to be able to do anything really with it? But no, he just has to back off. You go Mega, you walk away, and they trade a dragon for that.
Yeah, now Nektar's just going to...
Oh, Mega! Here we go. Looking for the Gnar. Has to dash out of there. Still full health. Did you dive it? You dive that. Come on.
You could, yeah.
You dive that. Keep going, Nektar. Keep going, mate. It's 2 autos. There you go, mate. Well played.
Yeah, pretty good performance once again by Nektar. He's just making his presence felt on the top side, gets the kill back on Sizamol, who did have a couple of kills, but unfortunately is once again having a bit of a rough game, to say the least. And hey, maybe a kill on Chirp. Really nice juke back.
Oh, but there was a J4 waiting in the wings. Does get the clone out. Look at this chase down. Clarence wants to do it, but here's Nektar, tries to jump out. Mega going to come in. There's the taunt. Is it going to be enough? They do give it over to Mushin, and really well played. Good gank coming out from this Vi.
Yeah, really nice. Really nicely played there. Mushin, once again, is a bit of a difference maker for the Weekend Warriors, Weeknight Warriors team, rather, as he finds another successful gank up towards the top side. Is very much called upon on this composition to be the proactive member and be the linchpin of the operation when it comes to getting that early game lead that they need to manufacture in this game to have any chance of winning. So Mushin is getting it done. Looks like he's building up towards what will eventually be that Black Cleaver. So come the fights, having that Black Cleaver, having that... I keep calling it Righteous Glory. Because it's an item with horns on it, but the one that gives you health when you ult. He is going to have that online fairly soon with the pace he's playing at, and that is going to bode well for those mid to late game objective fights, which is where they're really looking to exploit into this game.
Oh, for sure, and you can see even Nexus coming back in for it, but no jungler, very aggressive stance. He does come in with a lot of items. There goes the Cataclysm with the flag and drag on top of it, with a big dragon on top too. And it is Chirp, he does pick it up, but look at Nektar, man, he just does whatever he wants. He just gets the solo kill too. But here comes he does get a kill as well. But look at that double kill for Chirp, and that is not a dragon you want it on.
Oh, that's 3 for 1 in the favor of Avalanche Pink, because across the map they just get the wins. It's Nektar over the top lane once again, 1v1, winning out on the solo matchup against Sizamol time and time again. Now in this Gnar, he is stacking towards that Triforce. Nice little cancel there by Flop. That's the tech you're talking about. And meanwhile in the mid lane, Spirit is equally able to be as aggressive as this Vi in the early game, and Chirp stacking up on this Aurelion Soul is just becoming a force to be reckoned with, and he's taking all the trades that he needs to. 35 CS lead on this guy. He is massive. 2 kills as well.
What do you think? He's probably going to be picking up most likely a Rod of Ages, I believe, so he scales a little bit further into the late game. He's going to back. Does look to...
No, it's Rylos.
Oh, Rylos. I was about to say, it probably is a Rylos. Getting that extra slow damage will be exceptional on him, being able to stop this LeBlanc from dashing about as much. So I think really nice pickup as there's the taunt coming in. Weapon. Now
you die.
Yeah, no, that's not where he wants to be. He's about to go Mega 2. Does head on to the final stages of going Mega. Started to get that rage built up. And Scissor, you are on the wrong side of the wave there, my friends. Does get the stun. Throws down the Q. Here comes the dragon coming in for a bit of a fight as well. And Chirp just there for the KS or kill secure, as we should be saying.
Yeah, Chirp comes in at the last second. Now this is the other part of the Aurelion Sol kit that comes to play, where you're huge and you get to roam around and pick up kills as your team sets them up. And Nectar getting this large is definitely really good for himself, but ultimately it just means that his team is going to have so much frontline and so much setup to play around as this now gets larger and larger. But maybe play towards the bot side for the Weeknight Warriors.
Well, it's a 4-man stack coming down onto this tower, and this is the sort of dive you want to be looking for early when you do have a Sivir who can outshove Azeri. Forces the TP coming out of Na'Vi coming into this fight. There's the zap, the bing bang boom, as they do pick up both in the blink of an eye. And Nectar's in this fight all alone, no Mega inside, and AE picks up the kill. 5 members looking so strong as Shen joins that fight. An absolute bonanza in this bot lane. But there's the Rift Herald down the mid lane. For some reason, my direct camera has turned off. What is going on? Is they're still fighting? And Shenduity did actually get the TP into that fight. He's looking to take on 2v1. But Sizzle, you're not that strong, as the dragon is stronger, and it's a ninja versus a celestial. And you know how that goes.
Yeah, really nice run of play, except for the little fumble at the end where Sizzle did unfortunately give up the kill to Chirp at the end, but or rather, I think it was to Spirit, but. Ultimately, I think you come away feeling pretty good about that one. You pull off the 5-man dive, and then the Shen teleports into the mid lane. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to pick up the kill with the taunt under tower. Managed to get a decent chunk out of Chirp, and felt like if maybe played that a little bit slower, then the cavalry could have come in to clean up the kills. But overextended a little bit, did Sizzle, and unfortunately paid the price for it. But now they're setting up around this dragon, and with a decent lead on this Sivir, actually, about 500, 600 gold to her name. Stormrazor now completed. This is that PowerPoint where you are starting to look to make things happen around the map. Everyone is hitting those first items, so...
Oh my god, like what do you do?
God.
What do you do? He just stood there and took it. Gets the ever... What do you do?
You don't do anything. This time it's going to be Chirp, who just gets to walk at people and fight them.
I'm going to say it. Should have picked Fizz.
Could have picked Fizz.
He's trying to turn it around, but here comes Sivir throwing out a couple more of those boomerangs. But look at that style zap as it does go down. Clarence is trying to kite this one out as best as he can. Flag and Drag does burn the flash underneath this tower, but there's a fight up in this top lane too, as Nah is getting absolutely blasted by Clarence. That's a bad spot to be in. There's the flash cataclysm as he goes in. Laser comes through and Spirit does pick it up. He's got the damage. The Gore Drinker finishes it off. And what a dragon.
Yeah, it's just going to be an easy dragon pickup eventually on the bot side, and it just feels like hands diff. It's hands and coordination diff here for Avalanche Pink, because in that last fight you could see Clarence kiting back and forth, didn't have the extra range from Milio with all of the cooldowns burnt on the Milio, so he's that short range Sivir again, and just doesn't quite have the tools to fight into the enemy team, and his teammates are falling down around him. There was a decent pick on Arcaden to start the fight off, so they didn't have the damage from the LeBlanc either. They did try to fight it out, but you could see just how much coordination came in from Avalanche Pink as they just ran them down, and it just wasn't quite there to respond on the Weeknight Warriors side.
Oh, and you got the Triforce being picked up already as the taunt does come through. Mega Knight is coming in, but here comes Fine looking to join this fight. Mega Knight does come out, but good wards, good placements is what we're going to put that down to, avoiding that. As it is the Infernal Soul weapon, the Hex Tech Soul has the but there's actually a flag there coming out. Lace Beam does get used up on two. Look at the Stormrazor, man! Look at the damage it's doing! Holy Spirit just gets taken out. Beautiful shutdown going in. There's the TP coming in, but here comes the Dragon throwing down the star. Does so much damage. That's a double kill going over. It's just not enough, man. As you can see, they're blowing people up. Nas at the top side taking this top tier tower, and there's nothing they can really do to respond. Chirp on this A-Soul is terrifying.
And he's looking for more. He's got the Rylai's, so he could just walk down Clarence here, and I think he is going to do it.
And Clarence just doesn't get a chance to say anything as he's still going forward, but under a tower is not where he wants to go. Weapon.
Yeah, it's another game that looked like it had a little bit of hope for the Weeknight Warriors side. They were able to get a couple of positive plays down towards the bot side. That point of power that we did identify of Clarence and Flop being the guys you kind of want to make things happen around, but unfortunately, your top lane kind of loses, your mid lane folds, and there's nothing really to play for besides just hoping that you get given a shot in this game and maybe looking for some picks, as they might have Nectar.
Look, Nectar does actually flash, but he fails it. He's going to go for that mech, but now there's a dragon instead, so don't worry about it. Double kill.
Yeah, just no opportunity to do anything, as every time you try and make that play, maybe look for that pick, it's just going to be responded by someone, as the map is so small for you at this point.
The Cataclysm does come down, so totally interrupt as the laser beam comes out, teleport as well. Look, 93 does pick up their kill. Look at Flop too, he's so low. Sizzle has TP with backline, but he actually got the Zeri. The Flag and Drag taking him under the tower. Gets the disengage kill.
Wait.
This could be a triple kill. Could he turn it into a quadra? But no, the Dragon is so strong. Gets the taunt off. Milio does throw
heals.
He might actually get... Oh, what was that? The Starfall!
It was looking so good, and then the tactical nuke just comes in and cleans up everyone, and Scissormo and Flop just get annihilated. But hey, a couple of kills going back into the Shen is not the worst. You'd want them on your carries, but they're at least finding some counterplays. Meanwhile, Nectar is just going to take your entire bot lane tower. Probably Arcane's life.
Probably. But no, it's beautiful plays though, but fight is coming down if we can see that. Not even a chance to talk about gold items or anything. Spotted out on wards, there goes the surge. But even enough to get the lockdown, they get the damage, and their kill is there. Mushin.
Alright. Yeah, Nectar punished on a little bit of an overextension in the side lane. Has the Triforce completed? Also want to call out Triforce on Zeri. We're living in that world again because that item got offed. So it now does a little bit more damage, and it's actually kind of worth buying on everyone who should be buying it. I know Zeri is one of those, but she does buy it. So, yeah, she's just so much tankier than even last patch Zeri, with that additional health, that additional mobility that comes in from the Mythic as well. So it's kind of just a nightmare AD carry to fight into. Spirit he's fine.
Asol's there, he's all good. Don't worry, Chirp carries these.
he's fine, but this is when you start to get real desperate, and you're either going to look for those picks in isolation that through those pockets of vision. You've only got that one ward that you've managed to sneak into your entrances on each side of the jungle, just that bot side ward where they're not even really playing, as the Baron is going to be next objective up. And look at the vision control as well. It's just the 3 wards, the triangle setup for Avalanche Pink, and that's really all they need, because if someone gets spotted on those wards, they probably just die instantly. Yes. It was just minion vision, and Arcade nearly lost his life.
Yeah, and that was just... That, honestly, I would have... There'd be something in my pants that I wouldn't be happy with if I saw that.
Okay.
It's terrifying. But no, Flop actually trying to do something to the Dragon. The little Fireman can't do it. There's the Surge going down as they do look to pick up Chirp, and they do secure it. 4-man is how much it takes. And now Nectar is looking to take on this Nah. Mega is going to fall very soon. Scissor just needs to hold this one out, and he's still probably going to die for his troubles as he's trying to taunt him under this tower.
Okay.
Outplay Scissormo. We were just crazy. Nectar, but there's being engaged. Cataclysm does go down too. Flop gets taken out quickly. Styles is off the back line, doing a fantastic job, doing so much damage. As Mushin does get over, there's the flash over the wall, double kill, but he's actually just dashed over too. He wants the Sivir, but Sivir's pretty strong. Oh, she does pick up that kill as well. They're looking to re-engage. AE off to the side. Clone is there, but it's just not enough, as Spirit is looking very strong. But look, they're looking for it. Can they turn this fight? Polymorph does come down. Flag and Drag not available. They just used the Q. Is it enough? No! Clarence picks it up, and it's support versus AD carry, and support wins.
Pretty brutal. New item alert, by the way. It's going to be that. It's what used to be Chalice, basically, on 9-3. So for a support, does a deceptive amount of damage, especially when he's got his buddies around to throw down the heals and the shields. But man, there's been a couple of good moments here from Weeknight Warriors where normally we would sort of feel like maybe it could look like a bit of a comeback, but every single time the play just gets extended a little bit too far. They get a bit too greedy and try to look for more than they should probably be able to get. And then the response inevitably comes in from the Aurelian Soul. Spirit QAQ comes in with on the back end of the play. And meanwhile, Nectar's just kind of been a menace in the side lanes, just constantly split pushing and occupying this Shen's time, making sure that he can't join the fights where he really does want to be that difference maker. Now Baron started up, and this looks like it's just them baiting them into going for another fight.
Yeah, look, they did just secure the third dragon, so they are on Soul Point. Avalanche Pink looking so fierce with these dragons as well. Not just the dragons as buffs, but a dragon on the Rift too. But they can see they're all trying to hover around, clearing out vision. Baron is the go-to. We have an ASOL who is this strong. 23 stacks on a Magi's. That breath is going to be doing some damage. As LeBlanc has jumped over the wall, does get slowed up. But can they look for a bit more? Starfall does come down. It does monster damage. They do go straight onto Chip. Wild Growth does come out too. They're trying to stop them all as much as they can. The shutdown goes on to ASOL. Can they take it any further? As Spirited is doing so much damage onto his side, but he does take out one of them too. Styles is so low, but he gets the shield, and they get the ace, and this team can walk down mid. Huge plays, Weapon.
Yeah, huge play. So just wallet death, basically. I think that was about as good as a fight could look for the Weeknight Warriors. They get everything they want. They dive onto the Aurelian Soul and nearly blow them up. If they had just that little bit more damage, then they could have potentially turned the rest of that fight, but too tanky, too much damage coming out from the Avalanche Pink squad. They get the wipe, and they're just looking to run this one down for the end game.
They can just end it. An Avalanche Pink coming in so quick. Okay. But that's an execute. They might not be able to end, actually. The Mega Knight is about to come back out. But can they get one more attack? The attack range is there. Just goes Mega to get that heal, but he's going back in. Big Nara's the good shield comes out as well. But sorry, you just cannot do anything into that Clarence as Nectar does pick it up. But the TP coming out from the Shen does actually miss.
Fancy
the dash. Goes over. It takes the Blast Cone. He could be out here, as they took so much and still survived for so long.
I mean, sure,
Oh, still gets it. So does come down. The Blonde tries to get the Everfrost off, but there's no mana on Star. They could pick this one up fairly easily. Wait, why would you walk away from that Vi? What the... No, we won't worry about it, but they're going back to engage. The turret does come out. Trying to drop the Star to Galaxy on your head, and there's nothing you can do. Poor Shen.
Just ridiculous. You do get the pick on the Zeri eventually, but it is traded back at Gil onto Mushin. Even styled, just kind of styling on him. It feels like it's been a while since we've been able to say that one, but he feels pretty good. The guy's having himself a pretty good game. Triforce is definitely less damage. You could see that in that fight where it did take a while and he kind of needs that time to work through the target. So it is a good thing that Chirp is doing the bulk of the damage, and Nectar is there to pick up a bit of the slack, but he's just so fast, just so tanky on this with this Triforce Zeri that it takes so long to kill him. Right now, they're just going to go straight for that Baron. All 5 members are up, so I think this is just a foregone conclusion, unless Arcaden has something to say about it. Lucian's in.
And at the steal, it does get smited away. While Growth does go out onto really trying to survive this one as they are able to take this one out. Here comes the Zeri. You want to focus this Zeri in the backline, but she's doing so much. But here comes the Dragon sweeping through, breathing breath as she does. And then they just go with the even more big double kill going over and throw down the lasers a little bit too much. The Star does drop again. This man is unstoppable. 13, 2, and 12 with a 9, 4, and 9 Zeri, and he's walking underneath this tower. He doesn't even care. Little kind of a BM, but he's earned it, if I'm being perfectly honest.
And we thought this was going to be a stomp. We knew this was always going to be an Avalanche Pink victory, but we never knew exactly how much of a brutalizing this was going to be. As Styled and Chirp do so much in this game. Nectar's also had a pretty solid one for himself, but
oh no!
It's just about these two, and oh my god, you can just do this.
He's standing at the edge of their nexus, melting them, literally melting them, and they're just letting the Baron minions do the rest, and the game is over. Absolutely massive one coming up with Avalanche Pink, literally showing us why we consider them the top contenders to take home the Training Grounds trophy. Weapon, just what a series already!
I mean, 2-0 easy game, easy day out for Avalanche Pink. One of the strongest orgs in the amateur scene, fielding this roster. They look indomitable. They're definitely going to be making a deep run in this tournament. They're a team that we expected to win this for sure. They're a team that potentially could look to take the entire thing, and we'll have to see how they go against tougher competition. There's certainly some incredible teams. Even the organization that's put on this very tournament, Mcom have fielded 2 incredible teams themselves. So these playoffs are going to be huge, but that's just a taste of how good this team can look when they get what they want. Like, I don't think we're going to see another game like that. No. But Avalanche Pink are pretty good at League of Legends. That's all I'm going to say.
Look, pretty good. Slight understatement. I think these guys have got a bloody good showing underneath their belt. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do in the future. Guys, thank you so much for having us. We're going to send this back to a casual quickie as they take us through to the end of the night. So thank you so much. Weapon, any final words before we pass it over?
Yes. If any of you are thinking about walking into a door, don't do it.
Don't do it. That's pretty good advice, honestly. I'll take it. I was planning on doing that later.
Okay.
I like the advice. I might
don't
not
do it. It looks like this, and it hurts.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel bad. I should know. I just feel. But guys, I'm going to leave you with this advice. Don't be toxic in your games. If you have to be, make sure it's for a good reason, but try not to be. Let's hand it over to a casual quickie.
No! Casual. My weekend plans are ruined, man.
I know, I can't be toxic and I can't walk into doors. Are you
No, you can
me?
be toxic, but only for a good reason. Only for a good reason.
Yeah, I never have a good reason, though. I'm a top laner. I just say jungle diff no matter what happens. Anyway.
I do that too. Don't worry, man. Or sub diff as well. Look, I'm allowed to say this. It's always a sub diff as an ADC player.
True.
Anyways, game. Yes, Avalanche Pink, awesome showing. They're really, really good. There's not much more you can go into it than that. Chirp is such a standout player, and when he gets what he wants, he does what he wants. He gets the Medjais. The only thing I feel like I wanted to point out that is so blaringly bright from Avalanche's Pink side is with Chirp's gameplay. I sort of stumbled upon it in the thought train as I was getting there, is it felt like a lot of the time in that game, they got a little bit too comfortable. And they were okay doing that because they were so far ahead. But a lot of Chirp's deaths, a lot of dives, and a lot of mispositioning led to seeing Weeknight Warriors. They got way more kills than they should have. Okay, Casual, I don't know. Do you feel like they walked up a bit too much?
Yeah, no, I do, and it's hard because you can't really diagnose it, right? Other than Weeknight Warriors actually tried to show up in Game 2, at least, and that's my opinion, that, yeah, there can be teams like Avalanche, Pink, M16, whoever, who have these really big names that everyone knows and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's a 5v5 game. Everyone starts at level 1, everyone has the same opportunity to CS, the same amount of minions. Like, really, the player gap isn't something you can go to the extreme of, because at the end of the day, if you just play your game, if you're proactive, if you make plays, if you make dives when you see them, it can work out for you. So yeah, there was some really glaring weaknesses, especially around that mid lane for Weeknight Warriors, but when they found opportunities, they took them. We saw that dive bot that happened around the mid game as well, recognizing there was Shenold and Nectar couldn't get down there, so immediately getting themselves numbers advantage and taking home like 2, I think, maybe even 3 kills. I think Spirit QAQ actually tried to join in and falls himself. So Weeknight Warriors, my point is, when they made plays, they made them, and they were consistent with that. But what they were also consistent with is not addressing the problem of Chirp, right? Who scaled way too quickly. I don't remember how many stacks he actually got on the Aurelion Soul, but I can imagine that it's an amount of stacks we don't see that often, especially in competitive games. Like, we saw what happened at the base, right? You can only do that when his E is so large that it just covers almost the entire map. So he got way too big too quickly. They weren't able to address him in the early game, even getting himself a CS advantage in what's, a bit of a counter matchup against the LeBlanc. So multiple different factors didn't work out for Weeknight Warriors. We obviously, can mention Game 1 and what happened there. So, bit of problems. It's been an interesting night for sure, but as our casters pointed out, like, Avalanche Pink just did their job, really. They showed up when they needed to. They are one of the better teams in this tournament, and someone that, people may be able to just bet all their coins on and end up making a bit of a payday. So, I don't want to just focus on mid lane, though. I think shoutouts need to go towards the bot lane for Avalanche Pink, who, even when pressure was put on them through dives and stuff, still managed to actually allow themselves into the game, because Chirp's only one man. He can't do it all. So it's important that he actually has a team to play for and play with, and that's what happened. We saw Nectar finding really, really good wallops and engages on his Gnar as well, his specialty pick. Yeah, he fell a couple times, 1v1. I felt like there was just a bit of greed from him when he got so fed that he's like, okay, maybe I can stay here for that extra wave. Does get punished by Weeknight Warriors top laner. So a few slight errors for Avalanche Pink that I think in a different world and a different scenario, they probably play a bit cleaner. But it's just that classic case where game one was such a stomp that you can imagine there are going to be a few errors when they kind of turn their brains off just a little bit because they think they can afford to. But at the end of the day, in this training grounds, right, you've got to be constantly on, constantly going. And once they did hit that mid game, they were able to just scale right through and take the victory. So a really well-earned 2-0, in my opinion, for Avalanche.
Yeah, that's right. Look, they've come through at the top of their group once again. They'll be sitting on 6 points, and it's a big second week for these guys, a big second week for everybody. This is when you start seeing those teams separate into the hierarchy we're going to expect, and then going to that third and fourth week is when things start getting real.
Yeah, get dicey,
and that was the end of our second week of the sorry, I was thinking of Avalanche Pink. Sorry, Mcom, Mcom Esports Challenger Training Grounds. It's been a fantastic night. If there's anything I have to leave you with, look, I heard this one the other day, Casual, and
go on.
It stuck with me. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, no matter whether or not you win or lose the game, everyone ends up in the queue again.
Interesting. Yep. That's real deep. That's one of those like Instagram posts with like crashing waves in the background. You'll have to leave that with me. But as wise as you've always been, my friend. Don't walk into doors. Keep queuing up even if you lose games. And
don't be toxic.
The other one? Unless you've got a good reason. All right. There's our like 10 commandments from Mcom. We're building it up. We've got 7 more to go. Nice. Cool.
Yes. Thank you very much. If you have any gospel to share with us to add to the commandments, let us know. Don't set a bush on fire in front of me. That's going to hurt, but you can do everything else. Besides that, thanks for joining us tonight. It was an awesome night, and I think we jumped in and got to see what the future of the LCO is, what the future of Oceania is, and that's how it's going to keep on going. So stay tuned for the next couple of weeks where we see the ladder finally start to divvy itself up and things start getting serious. Hope you enjoyed the second week of the tournament. Hope you'll have a wonderful night, and keep those commandments in mind, all right? I promise you they'll lead to a better life. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Awesome.
We will see you next week.